Hello and welcome to Stars in the Dark. This is session 39, I think. Or maybe it's session 40 because we did a session 0. Or maybe it's session 41 because there's an off-season episode with different players and different characters, but in the same setting. So who knows? But it's season 4, episode 8. That's definitely true. So that's where we are. We're waiting. Kai will show up a little bit later, hopefully. Other than that, I'll go through some wishes from last time. Stephen wanted to get the info from BD8, your little droid whom you left behind in the weird force user thug place. And that's definitely coming. You were looking at maybe resolving multiple of your situations with one job because you have there's a lot of stuff going on. Find out what happens to the donut shop. What's the situation with the huts and the nobles? See how that plays out. Where do you end up? Well, where are your true loyalties? I mean, they're to yourselves, but who will you side with? And one note from me was to, if we end up with the longer action scenes, cut away to the other PCs who aren't there so that we mix it up a little bit more. And we wanted to have a scene with Bria in prison. So if Kai isn't too late, then yeah, we can probably have that. I think what we were talking about last session, at the end of last session, was settling on a job. Probably going after Vruvo, but maybe it depends. You haven't really done a lot of investigating about that, so you don't really know what the situation is. So it's a bit up in the air. Your patrons still want you to break up House Gilash and the rebels, whom you helped get together before. And you have a lot of other offers or options available. So I think this session we should aim for finding, settling on a job and at least getting to the engagement role. I don't want to say that we should definitely get into doing the job. That's just, if we get there, we get there. Otherwise, there's no rush. There's a lot of other stuff going on. So it's all fun and interesting. I thought I should start this session by actually telling Tycho what was in the pouches you grabbed from the thugs, since you did the adventure thing and searched the corpses before you bravely ran away. So they have cred sticks with a total of 1 cred. So you get a little bit of cash. I mean, that's 1 cred in the game currency. Oh, yeah. There's they also each have a small container of what seems to be some kind of spice, but it's some sort you haven't encountered before. So it's unknown. The man had a worn medallion of some kind. It's hard to make out what was on it. It's metal, but it's very old, or he's been like worrying it a lot. So it's almost impossible to tell what's on it. The woman had some kind of stone talisman, also a tiny little thing. It's not clear if it's supposed to be, maybe it's a face, maybe it's some sort of abstract thing, hard to tell.
Mm-hmm.
They each had a comlink, and they also each had a fragment of some kind of purple crystal. They don't look like they fit together, but they look like they could be from the same stone. They're definitely the same type of crystal.
Fascinating.
So those are the things you've been like playing with and trying to figure out when you did your weird Vice thing last session.
Perfect.
Cool. So I'm not sure. Do you want to have some time pass so that BD8 has time to come back, do some investigating for some possible jobs, or do we want to like get right back into it with, I think, Tycho and Bade coming back from their adventure? What's your preference?
I'm cool with time jump.
Cool.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah.
I think Bade is impatient and basically is like, you can see she's kind of tapping her foot as we're waiting, and you know, because I'm fine with waiting, but I think Bade's like, we've got too many things to do and too much going on. We got to get it going. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'll point out, you've all spent your downtime activities, so you don't have any recovery options at the moment.
No free ones. Yeah.
Yeah. Unless you pay creds for them, of course. You can buy extra for creds or for rep. You lose rep by not doing jobs. You're basically just we're fine. We don't need to do anything, and then people start to lose respect for you because you're lazy. So, is there anything as players? Is there anything any specific job or situation that you want to deal with?
If we go for the Vruvo thing, then Boko's definitely going to do some recon on that before we hit it. But I'm up for anything.
Actually, sorry, I just realized I asked this last session, and Vruvo was the one most people wanted to go after.
There we
go.
go.
I should probably focus on that. Unless, I mean, if you've changed your minds and you all want to do something different, that's okay, of course.
I'm real curious about the donut shop guys, but either's good for me.
I am cool with doing Vruvo stuff, but definitely will be circling back and checking out people with donut shop.
Yeah. So Vruvo, what you know about him is, other than the direct encounters you had, is that he, at least a few weeks, or maybe it's a couple of months ago by now, he hung out in the Fringe on 1313, like the area right next to the Rand, because that's where you ran into him. He has a gang on 1313, a crew called the Shadow Horns. They're tier 2, so they're not insignificant, but they're not quite on your level either. But it's probably like 10-15 people total. And that's really all you know. You spotted him meeting with the Hut, whose name I can never remember, Agrilb, who is Scarbo's cousin. He left a package there. But you don't know, is that a regular thing? Was that a one-off? Is he actually involved with the Huts, or was this something else? You don't really know. So I think, Boko, you wanted to get into this and investigate it some way. What are you interested in finding out, and how do you go about it?
So they're on 1313. If we are going to handle him, that probably means some murder or some recruitment, right? So definitely would be interested in scoping out wherever they are hanging out right now, to see what their status is, situation, and then kind of go from there. And maybe I'll agree mostly up here, or is he 1313 too?
Agrilb is definitely 1340.
Okay.
He's one of the big movers in the Hut Cartel here. I mean, the Hut Cartel is the Hut Cartel, so they probably have contacts with the ones on 1313, but it's like it's not like they have people moving between the groups all the time or that sort of thing. They're distinct groups with their own people. Maybe like elite assassins probably work for more than one group, but you know. Otherwise, they have their own turf and their own organization.
Where is their turf on 1313?
On 1313, let's see. I think I have to check so that I don't tell you anything. Yeah, they are mostly in the fish market and the Warrens. A bit of the scrapyard, and the founder was kind of a battleground between the Hut Cartel and Black Sun, but mostly Black Sun. And Black Sun is definitely dominant in Bright Market and Emerald Row, the entertainment district and the business district. As you know, the Moon Minox, with your friend there, they're in the foundry and they are connected to Black Sun, or were at least last you checked. So the Black Sun is more of has more of the upscale stuff in on 1313, and the Huts are more they're more doing the grubby crime level of crime.
Yeah, I think Boko is interested in heading downstairs, and do I want to hook up with the Minox and see if they know anything, or should I just go to? Yeah, I'll need to figure out where they are first, I guess, before doing any. Yeah, so let's hook up with our Minox buddies if we can.
Yeah, Zori Bliss.
Yeah.
Getting to 1313 isn't a problem anymore. Do you go like the official way through the shaft, or do you sneak through the ramp?
I mean, I have served my time and I am a reformed person, so I am happy going the legitimate citizen route down the shaft.
So you just buy a ticket and go, or do you take the ship?
I think just buying a ticket.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
That's definitely more low key.
Yeah.
I'm
sure they probably have tabs on me, but I'm just going to see my old place.
Yeah.
I
think I want to roll from you for since you're not regularly on 1313 anymore, you're not as hooked into what's going on.
Yeah.
So how do you travel, and what do you think makes sense as a role to just move through 1313 without issue, depending on how you what your main goal is?
I think the trip down is on the up and up, just like regular, get a bus ticket, go down. I think as soon as I get out of the station area, that's when Boko kind of like looks around. He doesn't have a hood, but if he did, he would put it up, and probably start going to his old habits of like rooftop to rooftop and going up and down and back alleys and stuff. Because
so your main aim is like staying out of sight and being hard to follow.
Yeah, I'm informed, but I'm sure there's people who are still interested in having a word.
Sounds like Prowl.
Oh yeah, I guess that sounds like Prowl. Yeah, that's 4 dice.
You're good.
I'm good at
Prowl,
that.
so.
Look at that.
Yeah.
13. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I'll just take it straight at 4. See how that goes. 6.
Nice. Yeah, so you have no problems getting to the foundry, and you know where Zoriblis used to hang out.
Mhm.
Do you, since you got a 6, you can like drop in from and by a window and just
Just Batman
walk
in.
straight in if you want to, or you can go up through the usual way. I don't know. What
Yeah,
you,
I think I'm going up the usual way for this
yeah,
one.
yeah, yeah. Yeah. You get let in. I think it's actually your old friend. Um, what is name? Prismo.
Oh, freeze mob.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Since he's hooked up with the Moon Minox, so he's one of the people like standing guard. It's not like they're standing right outside the door, but they're like hanging out in the building on the way you have to go there. So he's Boko. Good to see you. Good to see you.
Good to be seen by you.
Yeah, how you doing?
um, I spent some time in the cube, so I'm doing great right now. Um, Mostly spending my time on 1314. So I just decided to pop down for a little visit. Um,
Yeah, we
keep
don't see you around anymore.
keeping my nose mostly clean right now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Good, good.
How are things down here?
It's sorry, I need to check. I don't remember how they ended up. It's pretty good, pretty good. We've had some trouble with getting deliveries. It's this some vigilante gang has been hitting us. It's
Is it the
uh
Skywalkers?
yeah, yeah. You heard about them?
Yeah, we heard they were causing some folks some trouble.
Yeah, they're not big fans of spice, I guess.
Or they're very big fans and keeping it for themselves.
Maybe, maybe.
Either way,
Um,
though, not great for y'all.
no, no. I mean, one shipment they just burned it there. It's crazy. Like, was a lot of credits just up in smoke.
Hmm. I'll make a note of that.
But we heard you were like this with the rebels now.
um, we do some work for them every now and then. We're not really affiliated.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I get
I
it.
mean,
I get it.
not working for the Empire ever, but
No, no, no.
the rebels have their cause and we have ours, and ours is making money.
Yeah, that's right. And he kind of goes in for a fist bump. Yeah, and he tells the other guy who's like a younger human, like call ahead, say Boko's coming up, it's okay. Um,
Yeah, just coming for a friendly chat.
yeah, yeah, Zori's in, so I'm sure she'll be happy to see you.
Hopefully.
Yeah, you get let in, and Zori's place is much the same as it used to be. She's got that sunken like conversation pit and
Fix the window.
some people hanging around, some doing spies, and some of her people just hanging around, being security, and some people coming and going with deliveries or messages and that's
Nice. I'll
it.
make
Zori's
myself
there.
comfortable.
Yeah, Zori's there, and when she sees you, she um I'm going to make a roll here. Yeah, she's as friendly as ever.
Great.
Oh, Boko, how nice to see you.
Thanks for seeing me on no notice at all. It's a pleasure to visit the old stomping grounds.
course, you're always welcome here.
I had a favor to ask you, and maybe we can offer a favor in return.
Sure, let's hear it.
Do you know a guy named Vruvo?
I know of him.
He
He's
is a problem for us. For me specifically, he sent some of his guys after me in prison.
Oh.
Not a big fan of that.
I can understand that. He's a bit of a problem for us as well.
Well, if you could point me in the right direction, maybe we can resolve that mutual problem for us.
That would be a great help. I think he's been working with these Skywalkers. It's it's a big problem. We're having well, I shouldn't say big problem, but we're having some supply chain issues.
Yeah, Freeze Mop was telling me about that.
Yeah, and I think he's been hanging around Scarbo's a lot. I don't know if he's trying to get in with the Huts.
I know he's been friendly with another hut up on 1314. So
Ooh.
that sounds like he's looking to make some moves in that direction. Skirbo.
Yeah, I know Scarbo isn't really on the not really in with the others, but they're still friendly. And yeah, I think seems like he's trying to throw in with them. I don't know what the Skywalker connection is. They seem to be have different goals, but who knows?
Well, my goal is to put a bullet in Vruvo's head. Well, that will maybe take care of some of those problems as well. Maybe without strong leadership, they'll well, either they'll fall apart or take up the space. A way to find out.
Yes.
Can you point me in his general direction? Yeah.
Anything you can do to disrupt them is fine with me.
All right. I can think of a thing or two.
Yeah, as far as we know, they're still settled out in the fringe. I don't know why it's far away from everything, but they don't seem to mind moving, traveling, I should say.
All right.
But if you want to find Vruvo, like I said, he's been seen at Scarbo's a lot, and yeah, doing jobs in the scrapyard.
Okay. Sounds like it's time to go have a drink.
Oh, so you don't want to do some spice with me first?
Sure, I could do that. It's not really my thing, but just to be polite.
Twist that arm.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just drugs.
What could go wrong?
Yeah. Okay, let's leave you there then.
Yeah.
And cut to someone else. So yeah, just to catch markup, Boko is down on 1313, looking for information on Vruvo for to get to the point where you can actually do a job. So yeah, Val. I think by now Bade and Tycho have come back from their little adventure on Temple Avenue. So maybe we should put all three of you together. Oh, sorry, you've definitely come back since Tycho did his weird thing with the stuff found. Sorry, that was me being confused. or do you have something specific you want to do, Mark?
For Val's character?
Yeah. Or do you want to go to Bria in prison?
I could do that. I could definitely do that. Let's see if I can find her. Yes, there she is. The lurk. She's no longer best. Let's go with Bria for now. We'll need to update that to something else. Okay, yeah. What's been happening in prison then?
Yeah, so I think you got just when when Boko got hit, just before that you got pulled away, like they had some guards came and got you.
Yeah.
And that turned out to be like, it wasn't anything. It was obviously like a setup of some kind.
Yeah.
So that what is name? The Grug Tark, the Gamorrean, is a thug with a couple of friends. They went after Boko, cut him up pretty bad, but he then Boko got out a couple of or about a week later, and now I think it's been about another week maybe since Boko's been out. So now you're back to being alone, kind of. I think we said that you were friendly with Scarbo's people in the cube. Those were the ones you attached yourself to, I guess.
Yeah.
So
the thing.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
I should say the thing I remember establishing is that like, I can't remember why I did this, but I remember just like setting it up that she was antagonistic to everybody, or almost everybody, and so like they would tell her to stop giving lip or whatever, and so she's taken on the name Lip. I know that's true because I wrote it down in my character sheet.
yeah, then it's true.
Right. I have a very successful job and lots of money. Oh wait, it doesn't work. Okay. All right. So has it been a year? Has it been 6 months?
Ooh, total.
Yeah.
6 months sounds about right, I think.
6 months. Okay. All right. How do I get what is it called? Load. How do I get the ability to hold on to something?
You have to have the special holding, the prison holding that gives, which is called smuggling, that gives you load while you're incarcerated. Otherwise, you have a load of 0.
Okay. So I would need to go on this prison map. I would need to go downward.
Up or down.
Oh,
it's
I see it now.
in both directions.
I see. Okay.
But right now you're fairly friendly with the guards. You have them paid off. It was
so
a couple.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
The guards who pulled you away, they were ones who aren't like directly connected to the ones you're friendly with. Like they were from a different cell block, I guess.
Okay. It says in the upper left-hand corner that I can get my wanted level reduced from life. I can get my wanted level reduced. I don't think that applies to life in prison, though, does it? The parole influence.
Yeah, it counts, but it's when someone is incarcerated, when someone becomes incarcerated. So it doesn't change for the ones.
Okay. I see now. I see. Okay, yeah, I get it. Cool. Well, that's what Bria is working on, is the ability to have stuff.
Yeah.
So I guess I need to bribe some people or put the fear of death into people, or
yeah, or you could try. It depends on how you want to do it. Like you're fairly friendly with Sturbo's people. With people on the outside, you're very friendly with the rebels. You have connections with the Moon Minox, Code Phoenix, Petra and her people. They are also positioned to be able to provide you with items, since they have influence in the security organizations. That could be something to work on.
Yeah. So what I want to do is I want to find a job that would require the ability to hide items from like the guards coming in and tossing the bed or whatever, which would be my load, by taking on some job for somebody. And that would create a hidey hole, or like something I could put in my clothes, like a strap or something like that I could put under my clothes, or something. I can unscrew the light bulb and put it up in there or something like that, someplace that the load would exist in, because I'll need to hide something so I can do a job. So are there any jobs in prison that I can take?
Sure. And I would say that if you have the smuggling holding, I think we don't need to specify exactly how that happens. It's just that you can get stuff into prison, and you can keep them hidden, or you have bribed the guards so that they don't care, or
right.
But that we can specify that when it matters. But yeah, it kind of depends on who you want to do a job for. Like if it's Scarbo, then it's probably killing someone. Same thing with really with any of the criminal organizations, because that's what the thing you can provide while you're in there. You have access to other people who are in there, and probably they don't want them getting out again. With Code Phoenix, if you want to do something for them, that would probably be providing information, possibly about guards who could be turned to joining the rebels, or guards who are corrupt, just so that they can keep track of them and know who they can trust and who they can't trust, that sort of thing.
Yes, that's what I want to do.
Cool.
Because it helps me as much as it helps them.
Yeah. So yeah, I think.
We just do it the same way. Like I tell you my.
Yeah. I was thinking maybe we do this when you can do some investigating and figure out, like, or we could just set an approach and we can do it quickly.
No. Let's definitely do some role playing.
Yeah. Cool.
So I imagine what I'm trying to do is to get into one of those guard offices and like copy some information from HR or
yeah.
Or I don't know. Just grabbing some data from a computer that no one else could get access to. I'm sure there's a little tiny bridge that I have to cross over, and I have to hold on to a massive thing and move to the back of it to get to it. So If it's Star Wars, that's how it's going to happen, right?
Yeah. One thing we established with the scene with Boko was that the yard in the cube is like in the center of this big Juracrete building that doesn't have any external windows. So it's not really. I mean, all light in 1313 is artificial anyway. But this is like, yeah, it's a 20-foot ceiling. There's like a catwalk around, like what 10 feet up, with some guards and that sort of thing. So it's extremely depressing.
Right.
But yeah, so what's you want to get there? Are you trying to let me I look at the approaches and see if there's something that fits. I don't think violence is like assault is your approach, like beating down guards until you get in there.
Oh, come on, man.
I mean, you could, or you could
Right,
try.
right,
It's
right.
Deception. If you try to trick someone to get in there, that's a possibility. You could use stealth to sneak in. Weird, maybe like your strange implants and that sort of thing could be something to lean on. If you're really going for that. Social would be if you're the guards who you're friendly with, who you bribe, if you're using them to get in there as your main thing. Transport, I'm not sure what that would be in this case.
I jump in the laundry bin.
Yeah, maybe.
I transport myself. I definitely want to do social.
Cool.
Definitely want to do social.
Yeah. So I'm going to try to find a picture of this. Looks like a guard. Looks like a jerk. Sorry, too many tabs.
Man, I really need the infiltrator ability right now.
Yeah. Let me get him a name. Name is Neck Woneld.
Okay.
Sorry. So he's like the guard captain in your cell block. You've made sure that he has a steady supply of credits flowing his way.
Okay.
So he's happy. He shares that with some of his guards. So you have an easier time. It's
Yeah, I have the fringe benefits ability. During each downtime, you gain +1 stash. So I just assume that business has been handed over.
Yeah. That sounds fair.
Yeah.
Since you're playing a different character, typically.
Yeah. I've whatever that side hustle was is now flowing into this guy's pockets.
Yeah. Cool. So he's I think he's pretty open with you about, yeah, I'm bought and paid for, but I won't do just anything. I like my job here, so I'm not going to risk it just because I don't owe you anything beyond what you're paying for. That's kind of his attitude.
Okay.
But I think he kind of does the rounds himself with a couple of the guards, like once a week or so, and then he stops by your cell and you have a little chat if his money's late, then he lets you know that, and otherwise it's an opportunity for you to like settle minor things that have bothered you or that sort of thing.
Right. And what was his name again?
Neck Woneld. So
Like
I
I
guess
ha-
it's
like I have a
Captain
neck?
Woneld. Yeah, like Neck. That's
Okay.
that's what the name generator told me. I'll put it in the chat.
Okay. Yeah, okay, neck. So I imagine at some point, Neck's doing the rounds, I'm in my cell, and he sees that I'm, I've got my shoulder lean going on, and he knows I want to talk to him.
Mhm.
And the purpose of this is I want to know what he wants me to do for him so that I can get access to what I need to get access to.
Yeah. So he waves on the other two guards. They continue the rounds while he stays behind. Yeah. What can I do for you?
Well, I was just thinking about that discussion we had, and it made me think that if you don't owe me anything, then maybe I could put myself in the position where you do. So, is there anything you need done? I've got lots of outside connections. I've got one outside connection. Shut up, narrator.
Actually, I think there's something you could do for me in here.
Oh. What's on your mind, Nick?
So, Lauslan up there just passed by here, the guy with the beard, and that's one of the other guards.
Yeah. The one that always smells like alcohol.
Yeah, not enough, sadly. He drinks, but he doesn't drink enough for me to fire him. So,
got it.
He's not cooperative. So I need either a reason to get rid of him or just get rid of him. But obviously, if I do it, it's a bad look. But you're in here for as long as you live anyway, so it doesn't matter if you rack up your count a little bit.
I see.
Or,
well,
like I said, if you find some other way with your outside connections to get rid of him, that's fine too.
It sounds like you're sad about that, so I think I know where you're going.
Oh, I don't care. I don't care how he gets gone, as long as he gets gone. No?
I understand.
You can hire him for a better job somewhere else. That's fine with me. I don't hold a personal grudge. It's just that he could interfere in my business here. I can't handle that. Our business, I should say, because if something happens to me, then well, you're back to where everyone else is.
Consider it done, Nick. Consider it done.
Well, consider it done when it's done.
She rolls her eyes. I will be doing it for you, Nick.
Good, good. And I will be getting you the thing you need when you have. So, unless there's anything else.
No, no.
Oh,
Please
good.
continue your rounds.
Pleasure doing business with you as always.
When he's gone, she sighs. She's like, oh, God. Because, you know, she got here because she never stopped killing people. It's like, do I change? Do I go with my skill set? She's still got the trauma of obsessed. So, but she also has the trauma of soft. Oh, this is a tough decision.
So maybe while you think on that, let's take a 5-minute break.
Sure.
And then I think I want to. Cool. So I think we'll start with Bade because BD8 comes back. And I figure it's been like 1 or 2 days since you had the encounter with the thugs. Does that seem reasonable?
Yeah, yeah.
Cool. So BD8 comes back. Doesn't seem to be physically damaged in any way. How does BD8 usually communicate with you? Is it like R2D2? Is that what they call basic? I think that the beeps and boops.
Yeah, so I don't speak droid. I think I saw that as a
there's
ability at some point.
Yeah.
So I think that I think I have a readout on a pad somewhere that translates for me, or if it's something visual, then BD8 will like project it.
Yeah. So he shows you. Basically, he's done hollow recordings of the things he's seen, and it starts right when you leave him there. You leave him. He hides up on the ceiling or in the ceiling in this little alcove that's right inside the door. There's a stair. There are stairs going down. So he. Yeah, and it's these like the usual kind of monochrome little fuzzy holograms that we usually see. So it starts with Tycho like searching these the downed thugs, grabbing the pouch and the belt. Then there's a couple of thugs running up the stairs. Tycho leaves. There's a couple of thugs running up the stairs, and then 2 more, and they follow out the door. And those were the people you were chased by. They're, as far as you can tell, they're dressed similarly like the 2 you fought. And then after those 2, a little while later, there's a figure in somewhat similar clothes, but more. I put a picture of the thug, of the typical thug in the on the NPCs tab. So it's not a super great picture, but it gives you the impression of kind of what they look like.
Okay.
And there's another figure coming up the stairs, and it seems like the holo capture, the camera doesn't quite get a good picture of them. It kind of passes out when BD8 has tried to record them. It's you get like flashes. Whoever they are, they're dressed similarly, but they have a hood that goes down further that hides their features. They have a cloak on them, so it's hard to tell if it's a man or a woman, or by body type. They kneel over those two downed thugs, and then that's the point where the hollow kind of fritzes completely. There's a couple of short images where it looks like the thugs maybe did they shift position a bit, unclear, and then it kind of shorts out. And when the image comes back, unclear how much later, then the street is empty. There's some blood stains. The door is still open, but the door closes just as the door closes. And then there's a sequence where BD8 apparently sneaks down the stairs, and you. I think it's got these little nervous noises that he makes when he's scared. It's clearly that this is something that's scary, but it's what Bade would want him to do. So he's sneaking down the stairs and looking around, and kind of it's a bit harder to follow because he's moving around, so the image isn't as clear. But there seem to be a couple of rooms, a few rooms down there. He looks into a room that has like about a dozen like bunk beds. So there's room for about a dozen people there, but there's no one there at the moment. There's a couple of doors that are locked with standard panels. Like you see his little arm sticking up and poking at the controls, but they don't open. There's like a flashing light, and then he sneaks into the room that's furthest from the stairs. It's a larger chamber, and at the far end it's completely empty except for at the far end there's something that looks kind of like an altar with statuette or figure of some kind on top of the altar, with and mounted in that figure is a crystal of some kind. You can see it like glowing almost. Maybe it's hard to tell with a hollow. And then it seems like BD8 hears something. He rushes out of there and hides in a corner. You see like two pairs of feet passing by, and then he rushes up the stairs and hides out in an alley somewhere for a bit before he comes back.
Fantastic. So I think I'm then, after I've seen everything, it doesn't make, I don't see anything really exciting here. I go track down Tycho.
Yeah.
Since Tycho was trying to get in there, and I sit down and I sit down and I say, hey, I got some news. I got some images. They're not great, of the group of people who tried to, take you out. So let's take a look at this.
It's great.
Yeah.
Got one of the purple crystals and the other one, and just they were carrying these.
I kind of take one. I kind of, is it worth anything? And
I think it's worth a lot, but probably not credits.
Oh. How's something worth a lot if it's not worth credits? Never mind. Okay. So we watched through the little video again and everything. And I think whenever BD8's done, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to go, good job, boy. And, time for you to rest. I'm going to power him down, and then I'm going to start disassembling him. And I'm going to make sure, with the fuzziness of some of those images, I'm going to make sure nothing was compromised. Yeah.
You think something's wrong with your droid?
Doesn't hurt to be a little bit paranoid. Yeah.
Yeah, let's have you make a Tinker roll, or if you think this is something else, then.
Tinker sounds good. Yeah, I'll do Tinker. Let's just roll that. Oh no, that does not look good.
Yeah, you don't think there's anything that's wrong with BD8, but you can't really tell. You still have the recordings, but you can't figure out what's causing the interference.
Okay.
Doesn't seem to be anything wrong with BD8 as far as you can tell.
Yeah. Okay. That sounds good. Nobody's taken this warranty sticker off, you know, or anything like that. The do not tamper stuff. So yeah, I think we're good so far. No, I trust BD8. I just want to make sure he's in good repair, Tycho. Like kind of put him back together. Yeah. You clean your guns, don't you?
Oh, I've got people who do that.
You don't clean your guns yourself? How do you trust that they did a good job?
I pay them all right.
Okay. And you can
Listen,
tell.
I would write a very strongly worded letter if my gun ever backfires. If my blaster is in bad shape, I just get a feel of these things. I could tell, I'm pretty sure.
She kind of grumbles under her breath, you know, if you can write after that. And then kind of, you know, finishes up what she's doing with BD8.
How do you clean a blaster?
Oh, I sit down and I kind of disassemble it, and I take, you know, the power cell and I scrub that really well. I'm like this. Come on.
Tycho's trying to like copy it, but it's with a different model, so it's got different catcher and, you know, different releases and everything.
Like, you should be really familiar with your weapon, otherwise you're gonna, you know.
I am. I'm very familiar with it, just not quite like this.
And it's, you know, cleaning off carbon scoring and that kind of stuff, and, you know, making sure that their contacts are, you know, are good. So.
Okay. Thank you.
Cool. So
Actually, before we leave that scene,
yeah.
What does Tycho think of this recording? So you've seen the people, you saw this mysterious figure, and so Bade's seen it once, right? So I think she's watching, but she's also watching to see what your response is. So you see the mysterious figure that bends down over the people, and there's that jump, and then you see the altar with the figure on top of it with like the crystal. So what's your take on that? Oh, is there a role for that? If you don't want to tell me, you don't have to, and then I can try and roll and see.
I would if I know, but I'm not entirely sure. Like, he's interested in this stuff, but does he know about? What do you think, Adesh? Do you think he would know? Oh, this looks like some kind of Sith thing, or since that's even a forbidden language, I don't know if that's readily available information.
I think you could make, let's make it a roll, but I think this is more like a fortune roll. It's just, has he heard about it? And it's not really related to any of his skills.
What about an attune roll where it gives you a ookie feeling or something like that?
Oh, I'd certainly hit that if that's cool.
Yeah, but then it's not really you knowing anything. It's just you getting a feeling. Like,
yeah, I'm okay with getting a feeling versus knowing.
Cool.
I'm good at getting feelings. I'm gonna catch feelings. Dog keeps looking at me intently, and I have.
So I think this is a risky roll, just to be clear, because it's, yeah, but you get a 6, so that's fine.
Regardless.
Yeah, like the holo doesn't have, like, BD moves up towards the altar, but it doesn't really get right up to it. So the detail isn't great. It's not like you can, if there is writing anywhere there, you can't make it out. But you do get a weird feeling. It's similar to what the feeling you got from the thugs themselves when they were in the when they were in the donut shop, and when the woman shouted and tried to throw you backwards. It's not nearly as strong. This is like a very distant thing, but it's a similar feeling. It's like you get a metallic taste in your mouth, and there's and that kind of static shock feeling. So it's that's definitely something sinister or unpleasant.
They've got the same kind of this person, I think, is their leader, their lieutenant. They have the same feeling to their presence, their soul.
Okay, do you think they're trying to move in on our territory? Are they dangerous, or no?
Dangerous, yes. Moving into our territory, yes, but I don't think until we did what we did that they even cared about us. I'm not entirely sure why they care about the donut shop. It seems pretty small potatoes to me. Unless there's either something at the donut shop, or having the donut shop lets them get to some place they want to get to.
Well, the donut shop does have a lot of customers that come in, and maybe they're trying to get information from those customers. It might be a good source.
Maybe.
Yeah, nobody thinks about the traveling food trucks and what the kind of stuff that they hear about, and they get access everywhere too.
It's true.
Okay, that's smart. Maybe we should start a food truck.
Maybe we should just take over this one. Get a beautiful Zeltron to run it.
Oh, I like that. After this, is she gonna owe you?
If we do it. Yeah.
Okay. That sounds good. And I kind of clap Tycho on the back.
Cool. You feel like your that
Good
scene
scene.
is done? Yeah. So I want to cut back to Boko. You've had some spice with Zori. You've got a nice buzz going. You can get over to Scarbo's, no problem. This is like your backyard. So traveling around in the foundry is no problem. And if I remember correctly, we've placed Scarbo's at the like it's just inside Bright Market, near where the little bit of the scrap yard that meets Bright Market. It's in that area. You can get there. You were going to Scarbo's, right?
Yeah.
So Scarbo is present, but he's like up in his office. He's got like a kind of a public office where he can look out over the club, that sort of thing. And then he's got the back office where he does the actual work. But now he's in the public office, so he's kind of looking out over the club. It's I think it's the evening. It's fairly lively, but not a massive party. It's a nice mood. And you see Hogaks there, the guy on his security team who you've had some dealings with before. He's guarding the sweeping stairs that lead up to Scarbo's office.
Yeah, I think Boko just makes a beeline towards Hogaks, like not running, but just like briskly.
Yeah.
And a little bit of extra confidence from Spice. Like, evening.
Oh, hey, Boko. Good to see you, man.
Scarbo needs to see me. Got a minute?
Oh yeah. You talk to him?
I will in just a minute.
Yeah, I just I gotta check in first, but just a minute.
Yeah.
and he
Tell him it's
walks up.
about tell him it's about a job.
Oh yeah. He walks up, he comes back. Yeah. Scarborough will see you.
Right.
And he leads you up, and he goes into the office and stands like right inside the door. You're trusted, but you know, you've just been inside. Who knows?
Yeah. How does Gerbo look when I come in?
Yeah, he looks good. He's Boko, my dear friend.
Are we friends? I just need to know.
You wound me. Is there? Do you have some reason to distrust me? Have I done something to offend you?
You know a guy named Vruvo?
Oh, yes. No. Do I? And he looks over to Hogax, and he's here sometimes.
Here for
I
pleasure or
need
here for
to.
business?
Sorry, I need to check. Yeah. Let's have you make a roll here. Are you like, because it feels like you're almost trying to provoke them, or are you provoking and then like you could go with study if you're like watching their responses. You could go with sway if you're trying to do that. You could go with consort if you like take it down a notch, and
Yeah.
that sort of thing. It depends on what you kind of what you're after.
Yeah, I don't think he's taking it down a notch. Let's go with study, because I'm kind of want to like poke him and see how they react. I'm gonna push myself on that if I can do that.
Yeah.
And we'll take 2. Let's study. 2 dice. 5.
5. So yeah, I think you do it with. Actually, I think you're probably in a controlled position here, because you're friends with Scarborough. He will put up with a little bit of attitude from you. He knows like who you are and how you are. So yeah. So either you can see that you're not going to get a lot from him, or actually like this. You can. I'll just read it. You can withdraw and try a different approach, or you can do it and suffer a consequence. A minor complication, reduced effect, lesser harm, or your position becomes risky. And I think in this case, you'd either get a complication or risky position if he actually starts to become annoyed with you.
Yeah, and can I resist that consequence?
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I think I'll take it.
Cool. So yeah. You notice that it's clear that Scarborough doesn't really know who Vruvo is, but Hogax definitely knows who Vruvo is. And I think the consequence is that Scarborough becomes a bit annoyed with you, and you just rush in here. You start to question him and his loyalty. So I think the consequence would be that I think you would lose 1 status with Scarborough, and he's already at -1. Like you're a favored guest here, but that's you personally. This is like now you're starting to push it, and he's not happy about it.
Yeah, I will definitely resist that.
Yeah, cool.
That's gonna be a 5 dice. Ooh, 5 bad dice.
Yeah, you take 2 stress from that, and that was you resisting with anything. Yeah. How do you resist it? Like, is it because you know Skirbo well, or
Yeah, I think when I see him getting like starting to be affected, I think that's, I don't necessarily pull it back, but kind of like look, this guy been a problem for us. He came after me when I was in prison. And it seems like he's getting involved in disrupting some spice trade. I know no one likes that. I'm just a bit upset, and I'm gonna go kill him. And I wanted to make sure that wasn't a problem for you. I mean, no disrespect. I'm just a little bit agitated.
ah,
And I
very
think I'll
well.
look over it at what's his name too, and like see if he has any reaction when I say I'm going to kill him.
Yeah, Bogax, like he
Bogax.
steps forward, and I yeah, Master Skirbo, I will deal with this. It's I know Vruvo. He's a regular here. I'll handle it. And Skirbo, yeah, good. Please, Boko, you're still a favored guest of this establishment, but don't push it. And he slithers off into his inner office, clearly signaling that this is over, and Hogax kind of ushers you out of there.
Cool.
Yeah, let's yeah, he leads you over to one of the more private booths that's like cordoned off unless there's a VIP or something. So it's free now, and he like huddles in close and listen, Boko. It's Vruvo. He's been hanging around here for a few months, spreading some credits around. He's a good customer. He's capable, and he I hired him for a job, a delivery. I mean, if you'd been around, I would have offered it to you, but you've moved up in the world. This isn't your kind of thing anymore. Just an errand. The big man wanted something delivered up to his cousin on 1314, something personal. I don't know what it was, but
Would you
Vruvo said he
be
could have.
interested in hiring again?
I don't know. He got the job done.
Would you like him to make another delivery up to 1314?
I mean, I don't have anything that needs. Oh, you mean so you can get that in?
Yeah.
Like, let's see a roll here. You want
Yeah.
to consort or sway or
Yeah, let's do consort. I'm feeling buddy right now.
yeah.
Can I take a devil's bargain on this?
Ooh. I don't know. Does anyone have a suggestion? I can't really think of anything. I mean, it could be that he talks about this to someone else, but
Did you? I can't remember. Is what Horax or Horgax? Who's the
Hogax.
Hogax? Maybe Hogax overhears this conversation.
I did. It's Hogax he's talking to.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I thought we were still at Vruvo. I apologize.
I was gonna say, what if Horgax says, "Yeah, but I want to go along."
He's going to go along with
you and Vruvo, like on the job.
Yeah.
And
I'm not going on the job. Yeah, I would like to send him on a job, and then we can hit him while he's exposed.
Right, but I think, how about if the devil's bargain is that Horgax says, "I want in," and he's going to go along, basically with us, and we don't know which side he's really on.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
What do you think of that, Anders?
I'm not sure. Like
Okay.
Hogax has a pretty cushy gig here.
Yeah.
I don't think he'd really be interested in putting himself into that kind of position. However, like he could put a stipulation like, this can't come back to me.
Mhm.
Like you're putting me in if it comes out that I hire someone to go get killed, that's Skirbo have my head, man.
We can be quiet.
Can you? Not really your style.
Have you heard about anything we've been doing on 1314?
We don't get much news from 1314, but I know what kind of business you did when you were down here.
Yeah. So if news doesn't travel, I don't think this news will travel either. You have my guarantee on it. If something comes down, Skirbo can come down on me.
All right, I'll tell him you threatened to kill me or something.
Yeah. And I can do that if it makes you feel better about it.
You don't need to really do it. Okay.
Um,
But let's have the roll
Yeah.
before he actually agrees to do it.
23 dice. No good.
Yeah, he's I have to think about it. Like if it's important to Skirbo that his business gets handled professionally, and if it starts getting out that people who work for him get whacked, it's a bad look, and then that comes back on me, whatever the reason. And you know how the Huts are. They're not exactly forgiving employers.
I know how Huts are. All
And
right.
he sees your look, and
Yeah.
yeah. Sorry, man, but can't do it. I can tell you that he usually comes in here every 2 or 3 days, max a couple of guys with him. Sometimes it's just him and one other. So I mean, if you hit them just outside here, then that's no skin off my horns.
All right. Well, thanks for doing what you could.
Yeah, I'm glad you're out, man. He claps you on the shoulder, and you want to get a couple of drinks, or are you still like on your mission?
No, I've got a job to do. I think like when he gets buddy with me, I'll like stiffen up a little bit. Yeah.
Okay. You're always welcome here.
Cool. I think I've got what I need to know. So head back up on the evening train.
Yeah. Cool. Let's cut back to Bria.
There we go. So Bria is conflicted between her two traumas, being obsessed and soft. And so she decides to try to get a call out. She wants to talk to Edema, who would definitely know what to do in this situation. And who would definitely have told her if she had left the planet. You're muted, Anders.
I mean, yeah. So you talk to your connections, and I think it takes like a day or so for word to get back that no, Etma isn't around anymore. She's Some people say she's left Coruscant. Some people say no, she's hanging out on 1314. It's just that nobody can get to 1314, and or easily get to 1314. Some people say that she's probably on another shock boxing tour. You know, she was up 100 levels. She's probably around, but no one can find her.
Yeah. So in Bria's mind, like all of those are everything except for the first one, those are all great. But like, who would have thought to say left course, right? Like, that's a very odd thing to say in 1313.
But it is weird, because usually when you like get the word out, then you know where people are. Like that's that's a thing you can get.
No worries. Yeah.
Like the people you know.
And so basically she just, like, the audience would see her just thinking back to the jobs that she and Enema had been on, times we had been together, that kind of thing. And you know, Enema never shied away from violence. So violence seems like the easiest answer here. You know, it takes credits to arrange for other things to happen. I mean, she's like, I guess I could get him really roaring drunk and trap him into doing something stupid, but that's not guaranteed to work. So she wants to, is this a job before a job? Do I need to, like, you know, roll my like point of attack or whatever, and then when that job's complete, it'll let me do the rest of the job with neck? Or
I think we'll do this as the job you're doing is taking care of Lausland.
Yeah,
if you handle that, then kind of the payment for the job is
Perfect.
that he gets you into the computer room. You can use the terminal there.
Got it. Okay. Well, then.
So let's do this as a job, but fairly pacey.
Yeah. All right. So stealth is the thing.
Because Lausland, he's like on a regular rotation. Sometimes he's doing the rounds. Sometimes he's guarding in the yard. Sometimes he's in the mess hall. It's like all the guards rotate usually between different duties. So it's a question of where what kind of situation you want to hit him in. Do you want to do it sneakily? Do you want to do it openly? That's up to you, and that will kind of set the approach.
Maybe it isn't stealth at all. Like, she could just do it in the yard for everyone to see.
Sure.
She's never had to, you know, like evaluate and judge all these things before. It's just always been like, where are they next? Okay, we're there. It's like the Dark Lord's faithful. Where are they at? Let's go. Right. Don't plan anything. Just show up and find an e-web.
Yeah, so if you do it like out in the open, then I would say it's assault. If it involves like luring him somewhere where he can't get any help, that would probably be deception. if you sneak out of your cell and like follow him into some area where you can get at him without being seen by anyone else, that would be stealth. Social, if it's using some of the other guards to help you, maybe.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm going to find a place that, you know, I'll make some noise or something like that, and he'll want to go and investigate, and it'll be out of sight, hopefully. And then I will roll some dice. So stealth will be the laundry room. It's the only thing I can think of at this point.
Yeah. So you start with 1 die. I don't think this is particularly bold or daring, but it's not overly complex either. It's just lure him there, whack him. Does it expose the vulnerability of the target or hit them where they're weakest? Not that you know of. But it doesn't have any particular defenses or special preparations either. You definitely have friends or contacts who can provide aid or insight because you are friendly with some of the other guards, and there's always someone who doesn't like the new guy. So you can get some information on like when he's what his roster is like when he's on duty and that sort of thing.
Yeah. Got it.
I think enemies or rivals interfering with the operation. Not directly. You haven't like the Grug Tark who went after Boko. You've seen him like looking at you in the yard, but he hasn't made any moves. It doesn't seem like he's been trying to get an opportunity to hit you. So it seems like either he was specifically after Boko and now he's done what he could, or the job's been called off, or he's done what he was supposed to do. So he's posturing, but he's not really trying to do anything. And you don't have any other like obvious enemies who would care about this. So I don't think there's no one interfering. So it seems you have 2 dice, unless there's something else you can think of that would factor in.
Actually, I would like to make it a little more complicated. You just said the guy's name. Grugnosh?
Sorry, Lauslan, the guard you're after.
No. The guy that attacked Boko.
Grugtar.
Okay.
Got it,
Grugtar. I want him to witness this because I want him to know, like, I'm not going to like I'm not going to let him do what he did to Boko. But also to make it confusing as to who did the job.
Okay.
So I think it's overly complex because I've got to make it when the guard is there, but also that drug target also there. I don't know how to do that, but I guess I could just be like, hey, let's settle things, be here at 0600 or something like that. Maybe it's not that complicated.
No, it's just, I mean, you could have laundry room duty at the same time as Grug Tart at some point.
All right.
I don't think I think that's something you could arrange. It would be like a 0-cost flashback because you're friendly with the guards. They can make sure that happens.
Perfect. Okay. All right.
But it will deduct a die for it being more complicated because it's an additional factor.
So now I'm rolling the 0 dice. Yeah.
Are you rolling 1 die?
Well, I'm back down to 1. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's see what happens. Got to change my name. It's Bria.
3.
Five.
5. So you're in a risky position. So I think this is it's Lausland and 2 other guards are the ones who are like on duty watching you in the laundry room.
Okay.
You're there, Grug Tark is there, and one of his pals who's a Trandoshan. They're both there. And the other 2 guards, they just step out without telling Lausland. So now he's alone in there with you and the other 2. And that's your opportunity. So I think it's risky because you don't know, there's no one to like, if Grug Tark and the other guy wants to go after you, they can do that. But yeah, does that make sense?
Definitely. I take like a clothesline or whatever, and I'm just going to use it as a garrote. And so I'm going to come up from behind Lausland and do the thing.
Like prowl, maybe?
Okay. It's either prowl or skirmish.
Yeah, I mean, it's prowl if you're really trying to like ambush him, like
yeah, no,
attack
you're
him
right.
without
Ambush.
him knowing.
Definitely, you're right. Backstabbing. Perfect. Okay. Let's see here. My implants don't work anymore. I get to go first.
Why don't your implants work?
I assume they would have stopped them in the cube.
Yeah, I think they deactivated them when you were put in the cube. Like not everything, and you could probably try to tinker with them to get them going again, at least temporarily. That's the sort of thing you could do for a flashback or something.
Yeah, what about a flashback to negotiate with the guard to turn them back on?
Okay.
Sure.
Okay. How much stress will that cost? I would think one at least.
I think 1 stress. It feels like unlikely opportunity because it means you have to find a guard who has authorization to do it or can get someone who has authorization and that sort of thing. But it's not super complicated, but it's not something that's super easy either. It takes some effort to get it done.
So apparently I took a leg injury a long time ago, a level 2 injury. Do I still have that, you think, or?
Let's say that's gone. I feel like that seems fair.
Okay. Then I will spend 2 stress to activate and a 3rd stress to become invisible rather than shadowy. And I'll do it right in front of Greg Tark.
Like you just suddenly fade out.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice.
Okay, so prowl. I am sneaking up invisibly. I guess that would make my effect greater. Do you think?
Yeah, that seems reasonable because you can definitely like you can get right up onto him with your stealth mode active. You don't really have to sneak. I mean, it's much easier to do it. So it seems like increased effect seems fair.
So risky, normal, risky.
Yeah, since like strangling someone with a clothesline, it's not the most effective, and he has weapons. So yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and push myself for a third time.
Okay.
And let's see what happens. Double fives.
Double fives. So risky, you do it with a consequence. Harm, complication, reduced effect, your position becomes desperate. I think harm makes sense here. Like you get the garrote around his neck. He doesn't know what's going on. He's flailing, but he gets his. I guess he's got like a stun baton, and he hits you. It shorts some of your implants. I mean, you get some shocks. It's troublesome. He hits you a couple of times, but you hang on. He loses consciousness quickly. And yeah, do you just strangle him to death, or do you kill him some other way?
Mark, what did Grugtart do to you?
He
He shivved you, I think.
he shivved me a bunch.
Okay, well, I'm visible. I'm looking at Grugtart, and I'm doing all of that to this guy.
Yeah. So
I don't know if I like Bria anymore.
yeah, you're not nice people, most of you.
I just wanted some pockets.
Yeah. So do you become visible so that Grogtar can see you when you're stabbing this guard?
Yeah, I figure as he gets hitting with the stun baton, I become more and more visible.
Yeah.
Until it knocks them out again. It was a nice rush to have them back on. Okay, so I didn't have any load. The shiv, I mean, I guess maybe I don't have a shiv.
I think that's something you can. I think you'll have to pay one stress for it, unless you want to improvise a shiv here.
Yeah, no. I'll pay the stress for that.
Yeah, cool.
Because I don't have load.
Let's have you make a command roll to. I think command makes sense for like trying to intimidate Grugtart and Trandoshan.
It's one die.
If you want a devil's bargain, the other guards come in and also see it, so that they like can personally they know that it was you who did it. Like if they're questioned hard, they're going to tell. Right now, they just no. Cool.
No. All right, so I got a 5.
Yeah. So I think in this case, it's a complication. They are going to talk about this, not like to everyone everywhere, but they will like whisper about it with some other people. Word will spread, which isn't all bad, but they it will be known in some places, but it's also like rumors like that are always going around. So it's not something that will be actionable, but it's something that will the word will be out there. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You can resist that if you want to, because it's a consequence.
He said it's not all that bad, though.
I mean, it depends. If you want a reputation for being a cold-blooded killer, then sure.
I mean, our gang's name was the Hidden Daggers, so I think you know, yeah, I think I'll keep the rep. I think I'll keep the rep.
Cool. I think like the guards come back in, and yeah, yeah, one of them, and they knew that this was going to happen.
Sure.
But they you made a real mess here. This is going to be a real bother covering up. We'll need something extra in our on our
Bonus.
paychecks
Yeah.
this month.
Um,
And basically, they're trying to shake you down for an extra cred.
oh, I see. And is that a consequence, or is that just the next?
You can just pay it, or you can try to convince them in some way that you don't need to do this.
Okay. I'm going to try to convince them. I don't know if this is going to work or not. I'm going to try to convince them that the reason that we wanted this guy gone, Mac wanted this guy gone, was because he wanted to get a job for his new hot girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever. And this is all for your good too. You get to see her or whatever. I don't know. I don't know if that would work or not. But I'll be saying all of that. But what I've already got the Clorox or whatever, and I'm cleaning it up, and I guess.
So maybe actually let's do it this way. Since the crew still has the ability to, you still have the cleaner's ability, so you are good at cleaning up kills.
It's true. That's true.
So you babble a bit while you like start handling stuff, and they see what's going on.
Yeah, I lift up his body, and I did this exactly over the drain. Right. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, let me just take care of it for you then. Go get 15 minutes more and you'll come back to something else.
Yeah, since you have the ability, I don't think you need to roll for that. You just you've handled that. I think I think when the guards leave again, Grugtark and the Trandosha, they also leave with the guards. They like, we don't want any part of this.
Right. Oh Lord.
Cool.
Lord.
I think that's the job handled.
Okay. Problem solved.
Yeah. Cool. We're past the hour, so let's take another 5-minute break. Cool. So let's circle back to Tycho and Bade. Boko's down on 1313, looking for information on Vruvo. Val is probably managing something on the ship, or either way off screen at the moment. Unless you really want to go go looking for Val, then we'll bring Val in, of course, or Tritzy for that matter. But Tycho and Bade, what's your next step? Are you also looking for something on Vruvo, or are you doing something else? Like, you know that he had some contact with at least one of the huts. You could try to look for information from there, but that means go talking to the huts, and that's not necessarily something that's entirely without risk.
What do you think, Bade? Should we go talk to a hut, try to get some dirt on this Vruvo?
Huts are always expensive. Maybe we could look someplace hut adjacent. So didn't you say that you saw Vruvo hop on a speeder bike outside the huts?
Yeah.
Maybe if we grease some wheels, like, they're at the bartender and say, hey, have you seen this guy? Maybe you can trace down where they went. Who his friends are, right? So we know he's got a gang, right? But we don't know anything about it. Let's snoop around that a little bit.
So you want to know a bit about the shadow horns, right?
Yeah, I think so.
So let's head down to 1313. You're not wanted there anymore, are you?
Well, I don't think they're really happy with me.
That's okay. We're not here to make people happy. Get Val to just take us down to 1313, right?
Yeah.
Just take the moon.
I think we established before that part of what you get from your patron is that you have like legitimate papers or documents for traveling between 1313 and 1314. So that's not the
We got house papers,
journey.
bitch. Cool.
Yeah. So you can get down to 1313, no problems. What do you want to do once you're there? And do you do the same as Boko, take the legitimate route, or do you use the ship and go through the ramp?
Tycho would plan on going the legitimate route unless Bade says otherwise.
I think Bade's gonna let you direct where we go.
Okay.
So sure.
That's definitely more low profile, and since he hangs out, from what you know, Vruvo hangs out in the fringe. It's not unlikely that someone will spot the ship if you go that way. So it's probably less likely to get that something gets back to him if you take the legitimate route.
Yeah, we'll just grab a cab of some kind and make our way towards the fringe and hop out like we're just regular folks.
Yeah, I mean, cabs don't go to the fringe. Cabs, you
Tycho had no
maybe can get
idea.
some.
Okay, awesome.
You can maybe get someone to get you to like the edge of the scrapyard, but it's not an area where people like to go unless they really need to.
Yeah.
Out in the gardens,
just get me to the edge. It's fine.
Yeah. The gardens probably easier, and you can get to the gardens. You can get quite close to the fringe, so that's you can probably get a cab to drive you there.
Okay, and I totally see Tycho asking, yeah, just take us to this place, and then being told, yeah, no, we don't go there, and he'll negotiate his way back to.
Yeah.
The
Uh,
scrapyard.
Yeah. But I think so. I think you're in the gardens there, right at the point near the fringe. And this is like the gardens is it's the huge eel tanks, it's
Right.
fungus farms, and it smells, it doesn't smell terribly everywhere, but there's always weird, powerful smells. And there's big like transport crawlers and speeders going back and forth with foodstuffs and that sort of thing. Here you're pretty close to the rend, so and you can see the rend because it's completely dark. Like the rest of 1313, it's not particularly bright. Like in the picture here, there's not a lot of light, but the rend is it's complete blackness. And you can, in some places, you can feel that tilt of the ground as it's damaged, and it's just slightly tilting in towards this black pit.
Tycho looks
Yeah.
back at Tycho looks back at Bade. How do they even get around in there? You should see some lights like glow rods or torches.
Yeah,
or
we
something.
don't go there. We don't go there. That's yeah. I mean, you'd have to be in mortal danger to go in there. You know, it's crazy to go in there. And then I think she kind of walks around and she takes a big whiff of all that smell and stench and stuff, and it's like, smells like home. And then heads towards the fringe, you know, kind of headed out. I think we're gonna walk that way. But I think I'm gonna, you know, we'll stop and talk to people along the way if I can recognize them.
Mhm.
And I think I'm gonna reach out to my old gang, the Gray Mice,
Yeah.
and see if I can't get any, you know, lay of the land, you know, how are things going here, just to get a feel for what's going on.
Yeah. Let's have you make a roll. Consort would probably work for that,
Yeah, let's do that.
unless you want to try something different, but consort seems like
Well, that
the
sounds good.
natural. Tycho can probably help you in some way if Tycho wants to spend the stress on that.
Oh, Tycho would love to spend his stress to help out. How do I help? I think I'm Bade's hype man. Just like, you know, kind of back like this when Bade's talking to her old crew, acting like Bade's the boss now, so they don't want to mess around.
And so I think we're talking to like beggars on the street. And
oh my god, he's totally internally rolling his eyes. But anyway, go ahead.
I think we're talking to like a bum that's sitting there, you know, shaking his little, you know, cup full of coins and everything. Let's see how the roll goes. Oh, I got a 5.
Yeah. This is controlled. I would say you're in your element here. There's no direct risks. But this guy seems a bit reluctant to talk to you. Like you can tell that he's a member of the Gray Mice because he knows like your particular lingo, the code phrases, and he's identified. He recognizes you as someone who at least knows how to talk and speak to someone. But he's still he doesn't know you personally, so he's still a bit skeptical. So I think you can 45. You can withdraw and try a different approach, or you can do it with a consequence. And I think the consequence here is reduced effect. That he will tell you some things, but he won't tell you everything that he knows. And you can resist that consequence if you want to.
Yeah, I think I will try and resist that consequence. And I
Cool.
think I'm going to resist that probably with my resolve, which would get me 3 dice.
+1 for the crew ability. So
Oh
you're
yeah,
rolling 4 dice.
4 dice. Okay. So let me resist that. Oh, 3
Oh.
stress.
Ouch.
Yep. And I think what this looks like is so the gray mice are all kids, and I
Not
think
all of them, but mostly. Yeah.
And I'm talking to this one who's on the street, but I'm specifically kind of angling things so that this one's partner that's kind of hidden off in the shadows can come pick someone's pockets, right? I think it'd be funny if it was Tycho. Are you okay with that, Rich?
Sure, I will.
Yeah.
I will be the patsy.
Yeah. So I think, Bade's kind of angling like, oh yeah, I know the lingo, and standing where I am, I position so that whenever Tycho stands out kind of more in the open, wouldn't even notice whenever the kid comes up behind him. So
Yeah. I think the gray mice, like the pickpockets, they're all kids.
Yeah.
But then you have like the beggars, you have some people who are like management, I guess, like the leaders, and
the guy's in charge.
They're older.
Yeah.
So yeah. When you've shown that you have like loyalty to the gray mice, even greater than loyalty to your own henchman, then you're in. Like he will tell you everything that he knows. And Vruvo, he hangs out in the fringe, kind of in the middle of the fringe, near the center. They've taken over an abandoned building there, him and his gang, and they're quite popular with the people here. Like when bandits show up, they help fight them off, and they've done a lot to clear out the drug labs that used to be around here, the spice labs. So he seems to be they think that he's doing good work to protect the neighborhood. And they've definitely seen some of the skywalkers around. They wear like cloaks and hoods and that sort of thing. They're weirdos. They're like almost like they're religious or something. It's like a cult or something. They're weird. Is there anything else you want to know? Because it could definitely provide more information.
No, I think we got a position. We had, an approximate count what the attitude is towards them. I think I'm pretty good with that. And that's exactly what I'm looking for. I don't want to say, can you give us plans for their hideout? Because that would be a tip off that, we're going on a hit. So, but yeah. So that's all good news.
They're about 12, 15 people in the group altogether. Okay. Many of them locals, like the people who grew up in the fringe or in the scrapyard who's joined this group.
That sounds good. And I think our next spot is to Tycho, if you think so. How about we go on in and circle the area just to get a good lay of the land? Maybe watch what their guard is like, and then we can take that back to the rest of the group. Unless, of course, you think we should take them on by ourselves.
Probably not the best idea.
Okay. So yeah, how about we head on? We'll circle that block where the abandoned building is, kind of get a look, keep an eye out for lookouts and stuff like that. Yeah.
Sounds like you want to either study or survey.
How about Tycho, if you study the area, and I'll be your backup. So I'll give you a die.
I will take that die, and it will double the amount of dice I'm rolling.
Because I think they would recognize me. Yeah.
Fair.
So
They won't recognize me. Not too pretty. That is a 5.
Yeah. I think at this point, sorry, we should have done this before, but I think at this point you're risky because you are in like potential enemy territory.
Fair.
So you can do it with a consequence. And I mean, the consequence here is that you do get spotted as someone from Vruvo's gang. It doesn't mean that you'll be immediately attacked or anything, but they will notice that someone's sneaking around and trying and scoping their place out. You can resist that if you want to.
Sure. I'll resist it. And the consequences, they know we're watching, right? Just so
They know someone's watching, so they'll be like on the lookout for something happening.
I think I'm going to resist with resolve because I can lean upon attuning myself to remain a little bit less visible. There we go.
So that's 4 dice with the extra from the crew of it.
Thank you for always reminding me of that because I forget. That is a 6.
0 stress.
No stress.
Yeah. I don't think you do like the full Jedi mind trick, but think maybe like you at some point you stop because you feel like, no, this is not the right time to cross the street, and then you just a couple of seconds later you go across and you spot someone who's like standing guard up on a roof, and they just turned the other way. So you just had a sense that yeah.
even better. How about if Bade was actually headed out, you stopped, Bade continued on, and you pulled her back.
Oh yeah,
right?
yeah,
Like
yeah,
I've got a
good.
bad
Nice.
feeling about this, and I'm like,
Ah,
you know, I
fun.
look at you kind of crazy, and then we see it, and I'm like, I'm looking at you like, you know, how lucky can one guy be?
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, so you do a sweep around this the general area, and the building they've taken over is I think it used to be like some sort of store, shop or store, like two floors. There's a lot of like glass surfaces. A lot of it's broken and it's been boarded over, that sort of thing. But it's got a good view over the neighborhood. Most buildings here are just 1 or 2 stories, and a lot of them are just wrecks. It's been trashed a lot. There's been a lot of bandit raids and that sort of thing here from out the people who live out in the Rend, who are the crazy weirdos, the really crazy weirdos. They have some sort of like heavy blaster or something mounted up on the roof. Unclear exactly how much they can move it around, if it's just in a fixed position or if they can like shift it. It just seems to be the one. They have there's a couple of speeder bikes parked out front, and there's kind of a annex or something that could be a garage. It's possible they have more vehicles there, but they definitely have at least 2 speeder bikes there right now. Unclear if they, I mean, you've seen them with at least 3 speeder bikes, so they probably have more. Yeah, clearly they can't cover all the approaches, but they have a fairly good view of the general neighborhood, and so you'll have to do some work to sneak up on them if you want to like get all the way to the building itself. Yeah. Is there anything else you want to know there?
I think I'm good. How about you, Tycho?
Maybe nothing more I want to know, but just for color, I imagine Tycho would want to sit tight and watch for a little bit, and which I think gets us some of the information you've already shared.
Yeah. I
But
think you also see that there's like 2 people up on the roof, but not all the time. It seems like at most 2 people, usually 1. But you've occasionally spotted 2. You don't know if that's because they were changing the guards, or yeah, if they were switching duties. There's 2 people hanging out by the speeder bikes, who are like casually watching what's going on. There's not a lot of other people living right here, so it's a mostly abandoned area.
Interesting. Okay.
And generally in the fringe, not a lot of people live there because it is so exposed. But there are some people who live there, either because they don't have anywhere else to go, or because they've always lived here, or for other reasons that people live in places that aren't the best. Yeah. So do you get back up to 1314, or do you want to do anything else down here?
Bade, is there anything more we can do here to get Vruvo
No.
stuff?
I think we've gotten most of what we can. So yeah, just meet up with the rest of the crew.
Okay.
Cool. So you get back up. Boko is back up. I think this is when you try to set the plan, unless you want to have more, if you want even more information, but I don't think it feels like you have what you were after.
I think we share all the information that we got with Boko.
Same.
Yeah.
So you know where his base is. You know he hangs out at Skirbo's every few days. He doesn't bring the whole gang to Skirbo's, at least not usually. He's done a one-off job for Skirbo, but via an intermediary, so he's not like worked directly for Skirbo. Yeah, I think that about sums it up. He's fairly popular with the locals in the fringe. So Kai, I don't know, do you want to switch over to Val? Have some, if you, I don't know, do you want to do some in-character discussion about this, or do we just go to the mechanical bits and set your plan?
Let's just go ahead and set the plan.
Everyone okay with that?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Cool.
Let's do it.
Yeah. So what's the plan?
So that building seems pretty fortified. Maybe it's more prudent to try and set up and hit him at the club.
So are we looking to take out the entire gang, or are we just looking to take out Vruvo?
I think we cut off the head and that solves our problem.
Yeah, as long as another head doesn't grow back. So do we have a good feeling for, if someone else is going to hold a grudge?
I don't know. We don't know any of them.
Yeah.
I don't think they know us.
Maybe they shouldn't know us. So if we go for a hit at the bar, we should make sure that they don't know who it is.
Cool.
Or blame it
Uh,
on the Skywalkers.
I assume Val's in this conversation. So Tycho would say it, but it's for everybody, but directed at Val. Val, the people around Vruvo's area say that he's fought on their side, been good to them. So yeah, let's definitely make sure that it doesn't blow back on us.
Agreed. Seems like I think that's the way old things worked. I was going to say, make sure that other people knew so they wouldn't think twice about touching us, but what's the quietest way we can do this? Is it
Make
just,
it look like a mugging gone wrong.
I mean,
I
he's
mean,
going
I
to,
can hit him in the head from a block away.
okay. I mean, there aren't that many people with that can shoot that well, right? So might be obviously you. and
That's
that would
true.
Defeat the purpose. Could we poison a drink or something? I don't know any. Do you know any poisoners?
Hara, but I don't think so. I don't think y'all know her.
No.
We could see if we could point another group towards them, and during that kerfuffle, Boko, you could take your shot.
Hmm.
If these guys are not doing well with the imps, we could point the imps at them, or the security Corsac. Call it in, tell them that there's a wanted criminal there at the bar. During the intervening firefight, Boko, you take your pop.
Do that.
That's assuming that Skirbo hasn't paid off the cops enough that like, okay, there's we thank you for the call, ma'am, but we'll handle this. And
How about this? Bade, you're good at flying real fast. And this is like going back to our pod racing and stuff like that. How about we get Hook to get us a nice fast one, and we get him drunk and we walk him out there. The two of you have sped off and none the wiser. Yeah.
So what are you suggesting? You're saying
Get
like
him to
basically a drive-by?
No. Just take him someplace where nobody else is, right? Like extract him from where everybody can see him and put him someplace that we've chosen where only we can see him.
Vruvo?
Yeah.
Okay. So basically we'd need some muscle to get him into a vehicle quickly.
Or, we buddy up with him. Maybe you talking about, where I come from. You've been taking care of the, my people, and maybe you're worth working with. And, this awful guy, Val, he comes in, he's telling us what to do, being a real asshole.
Yep. So Vruvo has seen me and has seen Tycho or Boko.
Okay.
So we'd be made pretty quickly.
Understood.
can we make it look like the huts hit him?
I mean, the huts have, I think they have like 3 different hitmen that they use. I think we have them. Yeah, I made up NPCs for those.
Ooh.
Yeah, they're on line 81 down there. There's a Gamorrean, there's an assassin droid, and the Iron Shark, who is secretive and spooky. Oh, and there's Bletchric's Crush, who's a Hutt, who's an assassin. And I mean, like, yeah, Boko is a really great shot. So that's kind of, if he just gets sniped, then Boko, someone who knows about Boko could make that connection. But I mean, there are other people who are snipers, so it's not an obvious, or it's not the only explanation of it. And you also have your gang and who can help you. I mean, you have people there. It doesn't have to be you personally doing everything.
True.
Should we just choose the plan type and then work out the shape from there?
Yeah.
I think I think we're getting a bit lost in the weeds. Thanks
No problem.
for pushing that forward. So
It sounds like we're doing violence to a target.
Yeah, I mean, that's if you're just jumping him and gunning him down in the street, I would say. If you're doing the sniper thing, that's probably more stealth. Like you hit him, you get into position, you hit him, you get out of there without being spotted. That sounds more like stealth. I mean, and these aren't really, it's not super important which approach you take, but yeah. But just going through them to find some different ways. I think the thing Kai was talking about, where with luring him somewhere, that's probably deception, like trying to make friends in some way. I don't think you have any obvious weird approaches. Social would probably be to get some other people to expose him, also bring him to an exposed position or something. I'm not sure. It's not, doesn't feel like part of what you discussed. I don't think transport is really the focus here either. So, yeah. I think the main options that have been described so far is like, you could do the drive-by, that would be assault. That leaves you, that's probably has that has a risk of it coming back to you that you were the ones who did it. Deception, that kind of depends who's going in to talk to him and trying to lure him, that sort of thing. The sniper hit is, I think the biggest risk there is if you get bogged down on your way out. But it's probably the least risky in the moment, maybe. I don't know. The other ones we haven't really.
We could also try to infiltrate their hideout if anyone thinks that's a good idea.
Sure. If you don't want to hit him at the club, but then you have a greater risk of, or I mean, you could get your gang and just assault the hideout.
That's
you have
true.
more people than he does. So that's definitely an option.
Tycho would throw that out there. We could just hit them. We know where they are. We've got them outnumbered.
You've got the ship.
Land a ship army.
We had a carking ship.
Yeah, Bate's good at wrecking buildings with a ship.
We were trying to not be identified with this.
Oh, well, that was because we were worried about repercussions from the gang. But if we've taken out the gang, whatever you say, Cap.
And Val looks over at Bade's eyes, just looking for an impression. What do I see when I look at Bade?
I think what you see from Bade is she doesn't like the idea of an all-out assault with the rest of the gang because that would put them at risk. We've done a lot of violence in the past, so we're used to what that's like. It also got us in trouble. So yeah, I think that's kind of what you get from Bade.
Okay. Doesn't hurt
Uh,
to throw it out.
Yeah, I've got
No bad ideas.
Yeah, I've got command and consort both at 2. So I'm still recommending that, like, well, in this case, me instead of somebody else, I buddy up with him. And then as we're walking out, I help him step into a vehicle that he wasn't planning on being in.
That does risk it coming back to you, I would say, because people are probably going to spot you together. So, and the rest, if he does have some members of his crew with him, then they will definitely see you.
Yeah, but you said he doesn't bring them with him, right?
He usually comes with just 1 or 2 guys,
Oh,
but he doesn't typically go there alone.
dang. I misunderstood.
Yeah, sorry. Maybe I was.
No. Yeah.
Okay. I think if your main focus is things not blowing back on you, then the sniper hit seems like the safest option.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we just need to position him where you can hit him.
Yeah.
So we just need to know your entry point for stealth, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Basically, which clock tower are you using?
Yeah. If we want to, I can hide out near Skirbo's, and if we want to have someone down there say like, the Huts send their regards, and let the other 2 take that message back.
It's interesting that you're doing this, because the other way that I was thinking of taking out the guard with Bria was to work her way up to a tower when he was on the yard and just take one of their guns and take a shot. So if I'd done that, it'd been a very interesting mirror. Maybe the audience sees her imagining that, so we can have the mirror of it on. Yeah. So I guess like it's just up to us to get him separated and in the right spot, right?
Yeah, I can hit him from anywhere.
Okay, well, that anywhere is what we need.
Yeah. So whatever is easiest to get him in place.
Yeah, but the idea is to hit him right outside Scarborough's or right nearby, because that's where you know he'll be. He'll probably be on speeder bikes, so it's probably best to hit him before they get on the bikes. That seems like the general idea. Cool. So let's do the engagement roll, and then we'll move into XP and that sort of thing. And,
cool.
Yeah. Cool. So you start with 1 die, particularly bold or daring. Maybe. I don't know.
It feels pretty tactical. I think boulder daring would be assaulting the building. But
Oh,
yeah, probably.
it's new to us. We hit the building. We've done that all the time. Have we ever done any sniper shots? Right?
I mean, no planned ones.
I think our very first mission was like that. No.
Yeah, we hit the guy. Yeah, very first mission, I sniped the driver right outside of a club.
Well, that's a good callback then. Yeah.
Yeah.
The very first guy was the Imperial Administrator when you went into Sexec and yeah. It doesn't feel like you're choosing the safe option, basically. If I'm But
Yep.
it's not overly complex or contingent on many factors either. It's just know when he's there, shoot him. It's not complicated.
Yeah.
It does, I would say it exposes a vulnerability of the target or hit them where they're weakest. He's not with all his people and he's exposed. It's a habit of his to go to Scarborough, so that's something you can rely on. He's not strongest against this approach, doesn't have particular defenses. You definitely have friends or contacts who can provide aid or insight, but that means that they will know something about what's going on. So, I mean, you could like have Hogax call you up when he's about to leave, but
Yeah, I mean,
you know.
Hogax already knows that. Like I said, I'm going to kill Vruvo
Yeah.
to him.
Yeah, but
so
I mean, that doesn't mean that and he also made clear that he doesn't want to be personally involved. So yeah. But you could use someone to help you be a spotter or something if you want to,
Yeah.
but that means bringing them into the plan. So
I'd be okay with that. How do y'all feel?
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
So who do you go to? Is this one of Bade's old Gray Mice contacts? Is it someone Boko knows? Someone else?
I mean, it could just be like the doorman of the club too.
Yeah, but he's not a friend or contact.
Yeah.
Like this needs
That's
to
true.
be someone you have an established relationship. I think.
The woman that my rival at the
yeah.
Oh, wrong character. I was like, these names don't make any sense.
Lusten.
Yeah, Lusten.
That's so funny because that means the lust in Swedish.
Ah.
Yeah. Yeah, she wouldn't mind being taking a paid visit to Scarborough's. That she'd be fine with that.
Cool.
So you do have someone who can help you. I don't think there are any enemies or rivals interfering with the operation. Other elements to consider. I don't think so. You know the area fairly well. There's things going on on 1313, but I don't think there's anything that would particularly interfere with this. So that's 3 dice.
All right.
Who wants to roll it?
I'll go ahead and roll. Three dice. Let's see. It's a 5. Risky.
5. Yeah, you'll be in a risky position.
It's been really weird if you'd roll like ones or whatever, and I'm like, no, this is a bad idea. And it's like, it was your idea. I'm like, that's still a bad idea.
It was great until I saw the shape of it. It's
I was testing you.
Fail.
Cool. Let's do XP.
Cool.
So for the crew, you did not do a smuggling operation. I don't think you contended with challenges above your current station. You're tier 3, Scarborough is tier 3.
Yeah.
Don't think you pushed against anyone else. Bolster your crew's reputation and develop a new one. You're currently daring, loyal, and mercenary.
It felt pretty mercenary.
Maybe.
We weren't getting paid for it, so maybe it's not
Yeah.
perfectly mercenary.
Yeah.
I mean, loyalty, because Boko just could have gone off on his own and we're doing it as a crew instead of just me going off. So that feels like a loyal thing. I don't know if that is a reputation.
I think it works.
Yeah.
And I think together with like Bria showing up showing up Grug Tark in the prison, I think those together they both play towards loyalty. I think that's worth an XP. Did you express the ghost drive's inner conflict or essential nature of the crew? I think a little bit with Bade and Val's interplay here with setting the plan, and but I don't think it's more than once. Yeah, not hearing anything. So that's 2 XP, which means you gain an advance.
Ding ding.
Let's save that for next session. I'm pushing a little bit because it's getting late and I'm a bit tired. But you filled out the crew XP. So let's do characters in character keeper order. So Bade, did you address a challenge with theft or guile?
I think casing the place was probably guile. Definitely sneaking around, hitting our contacts. I think that's good for one.
Mm-hmm. Especially with setting Tycho up to be pickpocketed. I think that's yeah. Express your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background.
A little bit of background in contacting the gray mice, but I don't know that. Yeah, I guess that's express. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so, definitely. Sure. Did you struggle with issues from your vice or trauma?
I don't think so. No.
No, probably not. So that's 2 for you then.
Right.
Boko, did you address a challenge with tracking or violence?
The tracking, I think, hunting down Boko's whereabouts.
Yeah, I think that counts.
Violence promised but not executed on.
Yeah. Did you express your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background?
Working the underworld stuff with Zori and all that. Definitely, it's that once.
Yeah,
that's it though.
I think that's fair. Did you struggle with issues from your vice or trauma?
I will take reckless for busting into Skirbo's.
Yeah.
And I might make a case for paranoid, being like, especially with Skirbo, like, are you working with the guy who's trying to kill me? Like, I'm not sure if that's a whole point's worth.
I think those kind of go together there. It was like one thing.
Yeah.
But that's 3 total then.
I'll take it.
Tritzy wasn't in this game. Val was in for a little bit. Do you think you hit any of your triggers there?
No.
Okay. Tycho, address a challenge with charm or recklessness.
I mean, he suggested a reckless thing, but got shut down. He allowed himself. I don't think so. No, not really.
I think suggesting a reckless thing kind of, is expressing your personality.
That's true. So maybe that works into your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background more.
Okay, if you think so.
Yeah, because I mean, you don't know Vruvo, you don't really care about Vruvo, you don't care about the people on 1313 in the same way. So like, yeah, let's just go in and kill everyone. That's fine. Does that make sense? Or am I
Yeah, I think that was his opinion, and was, oh, this is an interesting place. I'm basically a tourist here.
I don't care if it burns down.
Well, you know.
Did you struggle with issues from your vice or trauma?
Not. I don't think we saw that. I don't think.
That just gives you a single XP.
Awesome.
Sorry about that. Bria,
Yeah.
did you address a challenge with stealth or evasion?
Stealth.
Yeah, yeah. Express your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background.
No, but I struggle with my trauma.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. You were pretty conflicted about how to handle that.
Yeah.
So that sounds like 2 XP.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you think you hit it twice?
Well, I was just thinking that maybe one of my beliefs would have been that, Edema would have known what to do. So.
Yeah. Yeah, reaching out to Etema, I think that's I think that's fair.
Okay.
That gives you 3 then.
3. Okay.
And you get the smuggling, one of the smuggling holdings for the prison. Do you want the top one or the bottom one? They're actually pretty symmetrical.
Yeah.
Ooh. Hard case might be fun to work towards next.
Yeah, why not? There we go.
Yeah,
Buckets.
that was XP. So yeah, let's do some stars and wishes and a little bit of discussion. I think we'll do that off camera. Cool. So bye everyone.